think TonyFlygon would approve. What's up, guys? Chun is back. Did not forget about you guys. Don't worry. Uh, Before we jump into the Smogon Tour 13 matches, there's a few matches I want to showcase first. This is a 4th gen match against Whereabouts Unknown. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into it. He's going to lead with Heatran. I lead with Frostlass. Frostlass as the lead forces Mind Games from turn 1 for both players. Going to assume Whereabouts knows what Frostlass does, and I go right for the spikes instead of taunt. Heatran opts for Stealth Rock though, and this turn I decide to taunt in case of the rare Will-O-Wisp. Even if an attack is thrown, which ends up happening, the sash will keep Frostlass intact, barring burn hacks. And after seeing how the first 2 turns played out, and how I ended up at a slight disadvantage, I figure my opponent might not know what Frostlass does after all, and I go for Destiny Bond to even things out. Hidden Power shown to finish the job, not wanting to risk a Fire Blast miss, and it's a double down. He goes to Starmie. I'm going to go into Heatran, because since I had a terrible tendency with this team to get Stealth Rock and Spikes up ASAP. Because of that, I'm in a bad matchup, and I need to keep Spikes on the field as long as I can, so I switch to reveal I have a second Ghost in rotom-w. My opponent does go for the Rapid Spin, probably not expecting me to have another Ghost, and I go with Thunderbolt to scout what my opponent will go into, since Starmie's probably not going to stay in. But I wanted to keep my opponent honest. Abomasnow is revealed, which starts up the Hail. Almost wish I kept Frostlass now to try to abuse Snow Cloak, but I digress. This is a defensive rotom-w set. Abomasnow was typically sub-seed when I faced them during this time, so I went for Will-O-Wisp to catch it before the sub went up, or the Leech Seed. And I don't think I had any idea how bulky sub-seed Abomasnow really was on the special side, because I go for Shadow Ball here trying to break the sub, and of course it doesn't. Leech Seed does come my way, so now Abomasnow is fully set up and will be attacking next turn. I still need rotom-w to somewhat check Starmie, so I go back to Heatran, expecting a Blizzard. Hopefully it won't get frozen. Heatran's just too hot for that though. But anyway, I am running Shuka Berry if I recall correctly, since I stay in here not fearing Earthquake at all, and I went for Flamethrower to break the sub. Leech Seed gets set up again, but at least I'm able to force Abomasnow out now. Whereabouts indeed does call Abomasnow back. It goes back to Starmie on the expected Flamethrower, which I do end up going for. Again, keeping my opponent honest. I think I consider Stealth Rock here, but I wanted to get damage on something, so I could safely lay it later on. And I didn't want Abomasnow getting a free sub either, so not sure if that was the best play, but that's what I was thinking at the time. And I believe it was here where I noticed leftovers on Starmie, so I wasn't fearing it as much since it won't pack the punch Life Orb has. It also won't have Hydro Pump either, so rotom-w was the natural switch there. Surf did come my way, and it doesn't even 2-hit KO. I decide on Thunderbolt again, which was a bit questionable since Abomasnow just comes back in again to take it. Shadow Ball was the better play in hindsight. Even if Tyranitar or a Steel type came in, I had other team members that could set up on those pretty easily. But sure enough, my opponent does leave Abomasnow in for death fodder, and we pretty much just went through the motions there. I do finish it off with Shadow Ball. Tyranitar is revealed on the free switch. Pursuit is definitely coming, so I just stay in to try to do something, but turns out Tyranitar is scarfed, and I decided to take advantage of the opportunity and bring Lucario in on the free switch to set up. Whereabouts is going to reveal a Gliscor, Lucario's #1 check in DPP. But I set up an Agility, not a Swords Dance, which definitely surprised him, but unfortunately this is where not setting up Stealth Rock comes back to bite me. And I think it was here I realized for the first time that Agility Lucario needs Stealth Rock to OHKO the standard Gliscor with Ice Punch. So I went to Dragonite, since every other switch-in I wasn't really comfortable with. And Dragonite's also an Agility set, and I think I was hoping for my opponent to Roost this turn. But Whereabouts just goes for the safe taunt to stop any setup shenanigans, so I'm going to switch back to Heatran on the Roost. But then I decided to go back to Dragonite on the Earthquake. This was a pretty bad sequence for me, and I don't think I really knew what to do with Gliscor. I have Scarf Flygon, but I didn't want to lock into Outrage, and Jolly U-Turn actually wouldn't have OHKO'd Gliscor even at 7%. I should have just honestly went for Fire Blast instead of Agility, since I was packing in on Dragonite. But I finally do just decide to Fire Blast now, which normally doesn't OHKO, but I get lucky and get a crit and take out the Gliscor. Tyranitar comes in on the free switch. I decide to fodder Dragonite out just to see what it would lock itself into. And after seeing the crunch, I go to Heatran. I probably didn't realize it was too low to come back in due to Stealth Rock, so Flygon ends up being my last. And I still had not seen my opponent's last Pokemon yet, and I'm hoping it wasn't a Steel type, but I decided to just click Outrage, hoping that that's not the case. And I didn't want to Earthquake in case there was another Flyer or Levitator. Also, I was almost positive Jolly Earthquake would not OHKO a bulky Starmie, unless I critted, and that Flygon could go down to a possible Ice Beam. But it turns out the last was Jirachi, and it's definitely game now, and Jirachi's going to finish it with an Ice Punch. And it was a pretty good game. I guess I've come a long way from even a year ago, and it was nice to see this team again. But anyway, I've got another pair of battles to show you guys before getting into the Smogon Tour 13 ones. But I hope you guys liked this one. If you did, you know what to do. And until next time, Chun is out. Peace.